Ashley, and today I am a guest on Evan's Rants, and we're going to talk about The Hobbit. I say it was a great movie. He says...
But it was really actually a not that great movie.
The Hobbit was a great
should be one movie. Because the main problem I have with it is that it doesn't follow the book at all.
Okay, well, let's face it. There's a lot of movies based on books out there. And most of them don't follow the books exactly. And Peter Jackson did a pretty good job with the first 3 movies.
Yeah, because he was following the books fairly accurately.
Wonderful cast. You have to admit that it was cast
The
very
cast was
well.
great.
Excellent cast.
You know who was badly cast, though? The elf girl. You know why? Because she shouldn't have even been there.
But there's no good, strong female characters. I mean, there's Lady Galadriel, which she really doesn't do much, besides nothing. And then, who else is there? There's no one. No really good female characters.
There was no good female characters in the Lord of the Rings movies either.
Right. So that's the problem. And the thing is, for maybe 50% of the population that's watching this movie is going to want to have some good, strong female character. Let's face it. I mean, the elf girl really doesn't make a big impact on the movie itself. It's not like she's a big role and affects the whole story. She's just another character that helps kill orcs, and I don't have a problem with that.
You know who is, though? Legolas. You know who wasn't in the book? Legolas.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with that either.
Here's why they put Legolas in the book.
I know you're going to say...
What's a fan favorite character? Legolas. More money. Put him in. Legolas shouldn't have been there. Elf girl shouldn't have been there. Elf girl, dwarf guy...
Okay, any girl is going to be like, oh my gosh, love scene. Basically, any girl with romance scenes
but all
gets
of the
excited.
guys will be like, ugh, and then all of the fans of the books will be like, ugh, and then all of the rational people in the audience will be like, ugh. They should do more things like the reference to Gimli in the second movie. That was done beautifully.
That was done beautifully.
That was my favorite scene in that whole movie. Where Legolas is like, oh, who's this ugly troll? And then he's like, that's my son Gimli. And then I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. But then whenever he's all like, basically saying Sauron's going to be in the next 3 movies. And then like some other guy a couple minutes later is like, Sauron's going to be in the next 3 movies. And Gandalf is all like, Sauron! It gets kind of old.
They kind of had to do that though. Because
No, they didn't.
Okay, well, it's great to see prequels reference to the next movies just because it ties it in.
Star Wars.
Sorry, what?
Star Wars. They referenced the next movies, and they did it fairly good. Okay, I can name one
Spoiler
very specific thing that they said that directly influenced the prequels other than character carryover, and that was whenever Obi-Wan says, someday you're going to be the death of me.
Yeah,
Those are
that
the
made me
only
cry.
kind of things that prequels should reference the original movies with. That's the only time. Is whenever they're doing vague references that people will understand if they've seen them, but if they're watching in chronological order, won't give everything away.
Yeah, but the thing is, people generally know to watch the originals before watching the prequels because that's just the way they came out and that's the way to do it.
I'm not saying they're bad movies. I'm saying they should be one movie. I'm saying you take it, you make it one. They made the first movie into the
What
first
about
book
2
into one
movies?
movie.
What about 2 movies?
2 movies
is
I would
reasonable.
accept.
2 movies is reasonable.
I would still rather it not have the white orc dude. What?
Yeah, no one likes him.
Where
I mean,
was that guy
he's
in the
some
book?
bad guy.
I don't know.
No one likes
Where
him.
was Legolas in the... I don't
Well,
know.
everyone loves Legolas, so that's besides the point. Just they showed, but they did show Frodo.
They showed Frodo, but
Would that
that
made
was
me
in a
happy.
fairly good way.
That was a very good way, actually.
It was okay. I mean, it showed the opening, and he was all like, Bilbo, what are you writing? And like, I'm writing about my adventure, Frodo. And he was like, oh. Frodo looks like a little girl. Here's my opinion on how movies should adapt books. Take away, do not add. We don't need Elf Girl. We don't need Legolas. But maybe there's some filler stuff that we don't need in the actual book.
None of us complain about Peter Jackson adding a backstory to Bard. I mean, that was awesome. So you can't always go with that theory of, just taking away, because there's times that backstories are very necessary and sometimes make us attached to characters more. And you felt for his family, with all the things that were happening. You felt for, it also put you in a different perspective of the whole dwarves taking over the mountain again situation. I think if they didn't have that whole Bard family, you would have been like, oh yeah, let the dwarves take back their homeland. But personally, me, I was like, oh no, because then Lake Town and yeah.
So you're saying you're racist against dwarves?
No, I'm saying I felt bad for the Lake Town people.
So you're against the dwarves getting their homeland back?
No.
You just don't want them to ever have a nice home where they used to live?
No.
It's like...
Their home was corrupt anyway.
Yeah, well, their home was full of gold. I would be happy if I had, the flu all the time, but was super rich, because I wouldn't have to go out anywhere. I could just, order things from Amazon, and be like, I need 6,000 pounds of celery, and just,
Why would you want celery? Why would you
Maybe I
want
want
celery?
to make, beef stew or something, and it requires celery.
Stew? What about pizza?
You can put celery on pizza?
That would not be good, okay?
I'm sure some people would think it's delicious.
I'm sure some people would think that.
Do you think that celery pizza is delicious?
Great, bring the camera person
There
into
goes the
this.
fourth wall. Celery pizza, yay or nay?
No, fourth wall would be the camera.
Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Celery pizza. Did that camera... I swear the camera just... Anyway, celery pizza, yes or no? Go.
I don't think so, no.
You don't think so?
Well, you tell us what you think about
I would give
celery
it a chance.
pizza.
That's what you need to vote on. Vote in the comments. Celery pizza, yay or nay?
Let us know.